Hello, everybody. Welcome to my first podcast. This is New York Knicks Talk. And here today we are going to review and we're going to talk about the loss last night against Cleveland. Um, but let me start with an introduction first. As you can see at the top, I'm infinite.ike. You can follow me by the same name on Instagram. I'm doing this with another fellow Knicks fan. He's just not here today. I don't know when he'll be here, but we've made this channel together to talk about Knicks basketball, mostly Knicks basketball. We might talk about other things as a minority, but our top priority, as you can tell by the profile picture we have and the name of the channel, yeah, you already know what we're about. Knicks fans, not Knicks fans, if you want to listen to hear us talk about how we feel about our team, be my guest. We'd appreciate it. So let me get this straight. Derrick Rose is out yet again. Yeah. And I think Joakim Noah got shaken up early on in the game too. So I don't want to nitpick, but it seemed like they weren't really all that healthy. But at the same time, the Cavaliers, they didn't have Kyrie Irving, and I believe Kevin Love wasn't even expected to play. But all the while, Brandon Jennings had a damn good game. I personally want him to be our starting shooting guard, but we don't really have a lot of depth at point guard. I'm not saying that Courtney Lee's a bad shooting guard. I just thought Brandon Jennings would be a bigger scoring threat. Don't get me wrong, both guys can score, but I believe Brandon Jennings might be the guy I'd want to have the ball in his hands in crunch time when I'm trying to close out a game. Kind of like a Derrick Rose or Carmelo Anthony. When you're just trying to close out the game, you want somebody to score to put them away. So let me think. I think the Knicks were down by, I don't even know how many points they were down by. I know in the first game and the second game combined, they lost by a total of over, give or take, 60 points. I think we were outscored by 63 points combined in the first two games. In this game, we only lost by 7. And it was a frustrating game because the Knicks started off all right, but then towards the end of the first quarter, they just let themselves go. And the Cavs kept firing away behind the three-point line. Nobody was doing anything to stop that. Cavaliers kept getting wide open shots on their offense. Knicks didn't take a lot of great shots. Knicks didn't hit a lot of shots. But that wasn't necessarily just because of bad shot selection. They just weren't hitting shots. Because if I remember last night, Carmelo Anthony, what was he? He had 17 points. Kristaps Porzingis had just 9 points. And they combined 8 for 27. Melo and Porzingis are the two best players on the team as of now. So if we don't have a guy like that complimenting those two, then yeah, it's going to be definitely harder. It's definitely going to be harder for the team to win collectively if you don't have your two best guys playing well. And I think personally, like from a general standpoint, it doesn't even have to be necessarily about this situation, but in situations like these, not even just with basketball or just sports in general, when you have your most dependable guys out, you need somebody to fall back on. That's when there's a chance for them to step up. And like I said earlier, Brandon Jennings had a double-double. He had a nice game. Willie Hernangomez, that guy can freaking ball. He should be our starting center. He has the potential to be one of the best young bigs in the game along with Kristaps Porzingis. If you ask me, Kristaps Porzingis is already one of the best young bigs in the game right now. I had high hopes of Willie Hernangomez because he already had a bond with Kristaps Porzingis coming into the NBA. So I hoped he'd hold down the center position sooner or later for us. And as it seems right now, he is really doing a great job. And you see, in my honest opinion, we should have never signed Joakim Noah. And if we signed him, We shouldn't have signed him for $72 million because, especially in hindsight, he was not worth that much. I wanted us to get Al Horford, but he ended up going to Boston, and he's playing pretty well there. So we have Kyle O'Quinn. He's a good center. He's a good center. We have Willie Hernan-Gomez. He's a great center. Well, maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself, but I believe he is a great center because he can score, he can shoot, and most importantly, he can rebound. And the Knicks are a team that is very good at rebounding. For most of the season, they have led most of the league statistically in rebounds, especially offensive rebounds. And who doesn't love second chance points? But now I'm starting to get into a tangent. This is really just a ramble. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, the Cavaliers game, that was a good game. It was hard fought. It just didn't end the way it should have. I mean, when you come all the way back, you're expecting to come back and end this team's chances of taking the win, and you overtake in the very end. That didn't happen. That game was essentially over after the three-point shot by Kevin Love. The turnover by LeBron at the very end of that game that was forced by Willie Hernan-Gomez barely gave us a chance. And in the big picture, it was a great effort. It might have been an ugly game for most of regulation, but it was a great effort in the end. The Knicks did their thing. They rallied back. They played hard in the end, but that's why you gotta play the game for all 48 minutes. That's why I gotta play the game for all 48 minutes, because you can't go cold turkey in the first 3 quarters, give or take, and then act like you're about to win the game in the fourth. The Knicks barely got away with that against Brooklyn. And that should have never happened against a team like Brooklyn. What teams have played down to Brooklyn this year? I don't know, the Hornets? But yeah, let's just bring about the state of the Knicks. They are talented enough to make the playoffs, if you ask me. It's just a matter of a lot of factors that haven't been there for most of the season that need to start coming up now. All right, Jeff Hornacek. I don't think he's a terrible coach. I'll cut him some slack because he played for a bad organization. I don't mean to say he played. He coached a bad organization with the Suns. So I'll give him the nod for that. And I think in his first year with the Suns, they went 48-34, but they missed the playoffs. Along with that, the Knicks were off to a good start this year. We all knew that. But then ever since late December, they just started slipping up, and now they can't go back to the team they were in the beginning of the season. They don't play much defense. The offense is very inconsistent and erratic. They don't like to move the ball sometimes. They just make themselves stagnant when they don't even have to. Oh, Jesus, nobody cares. So it's like, what are you guys going to do, New York? What are you guys going to do? You have it in you. Just show it. I think the ideal starting lineup for the Knicks would be the same as it is now. Well, assuming that Derrick Rose is the starter after he comes back healthy, and Joakim Noah gets benched for Willie Hernan-Gomez. But yeah, let's just bench the guy we gave $72 million in the offseason. So yeah, I see all these people saying, "Oh, let's just trade Joakim Noah. Oh, let's cut Joakim Noah." Oh man, I wish we could trade Joakim Noah, but who's gonna want him? Nobody. Honestly, if we hindsight is 2020, if we knew how Joakim Noah was gonna play coming into this season, he'd probably still be a free agent by now. He's had his moments, but while I don't think he should be benched completely, I don't think he's a starter anymore in the NBA. He's not the same player anymore. Yeah, as you can see, my phone's about to die, so I might have to cut this short anyway, and I wasn't really going anywhere fast, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you subscribe for more. Like I said, I'm not the only person working on this channel. It's me and a friend. Hopefully he'll turn up eventually. But yeah, holla at your boy. And as always, NYK all day. Peace.